To hell with a life of desperation. Hey, my friend. It's Dallas Wayne here. Just made it to the top of this little viewpoint over here. And just like when I summit any hike, gotta do my ritual of crushing a cold beer. Luckily, it's still kind of cold. Oh yeah. Yeah, nothing beats that. You know, people in Peru here are obsessed with these Inca Colas for some reason. They taste like soap. Or I guess it's supposed to taste like bubble gum, maybe? It's disgusting, but I'm not a big fan of soda in general, but sometimes I like that sugar kick, but why even bother when you can have a beer? At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it's healthier anyway. No, I'm sure it is definitely healthier, actually. There's no doubt about that. If you can see just behind me here, there is some incredible views of the Andes. Some of the biggest mountains in the country, I guess. Maybe further down that way, I know the biggest mountain. I was hiking near to it. Gotta be honest, I don't really feel like ice climbing, so probably won't go that high, but right now I'm still sitting at, it must be 3,600 meters or so. So it's some pretty serious elevation, and luckily I'm finally acclimatized to it. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a struggle to get up here. Hopefully this wind isn't too strong. But anyway, the point of all of this, of today's video, is to just live your life. That's the message. To hell with a life of desperation, okay? Every man lives a life of desperation until the desperation ends. And it ends one of two ways. Either you take charge of yourself and your life, and you follow that voice inside of you, begging you to do something, begging you to go follow the call of adventure. Or the desperation ends when you die. It's your choice. You know, it pains me to think that some people live their entire lives just always wanting more, but never having the courage to try. And most of the time, it's not even that they're not capable of it. It's just that they think they are not capable of it. And even if you go out and you try something and you find out that you aren't capable of it, that you just can't make it work, well, at least you tried. That is not a failure. That is success. Every time that you fail at something, you grow as a person. You learn. You adapt. You understand more about yourself and what you truly are capable of. And if you take lessons away from the failures, then they're not failures. They're actually wins. Every lesson lived, is a lesson learned. That's a quote from Hatebreed that I just kind of screwed up there. But it's definitely true. It's like this idea of, oh, I'm too afraid to go out and try and make it on my own. Like, oh, I'm the prodigal son, and, you know, God forbid I screw anything up. To hell with that. To hell with that notion. Go out and try. Just frickin' try. It doesn't even matter. Go out, fail at something. Go out, try and make it in another town or make it in another country. And maybe everything falls apart and you have to come back. But now you've learned something and you've grown and you've experienced things. And now you can share that with your friends and your family. You can come back a learned person. That is invaluable. That is not a failure, too. And it doesn't matter. It's all part of the process. Nobody just goes out and makes it first try. Maybe once in a million years, How lucky do you really think you are? It's like Jefferson said, I'm a great believer in luck. And I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. And honestly, the joke about that too is you don't even have to work that hard. You don't have to work that hard. The hardest part is getting over the mental blocks that you and society has created for you. You've bought into the notion that, oh, well, I gotta own my lot. Maybe your lot isn't what you think it is. Maybe there is way, way more out there that's calling you. That's why you feel like shit. That's why you're depressed. That's why you're sitting at home very comfortable. You have everything you need. You can drink a beer, or you can smoke, or you can go hook up with your girlfriend that your relationship is not really going anywhere, or just jerk off, whatever the hell it is. Play video games all day, or you can just drive down to the store and get whatever you want. Everything's easy. But for some reason, something inside of you is telling you this is not enough. This isn't what I was born for. I was made more for this. That isn't a lie. Your inner self doesn't lie to you. God doesn't lie to you. God wouldn't put something in your heart if he also didn't give you the means to make it a possibility. And God knows your heart better than you do. So if you feel that discomfort, you feel that call to adventure, answer it. I believe, was it Moses? No, Abraham, perhaps. I'm sorry, I'm not the best when it comes to memorizing specific names and verse numbers in the Bible. And I think for most people it doesn't really matter anyway, because most people haven't even read the Bible as much as I have. But the point is I remember the stories and the concepts and the underlying meanings, the metaphors, and that is the most important part, in my opinion. And anyway, the story of this one character, I believe it was Abraham, he sat in his tent until he was, 80 years old or so. And this is like a perfect parallel to a modern example. People aren't staying at home till they're that old, most likely, most of the time. But even people nowadays, men, women as well, but especially young men, I find, are sitting at home, until some of them they're in their 30s, and they still have never made a move, or they've never just gone out and experienced the world. And this is absolutely not a bash against any of those people. This is an attempt to inspire them, because this is also something that makes me extremely irritated, is all the hate towards these people. There's so much hate. And like this idea, these freaking incel losers sitting at home playing computer games. And yeah, you know what? They are kind of acting like losers, but they're not losers. They need people to inspire them. They don't need people to tell them they suck. Nobody needs to be told they're fucking up, okay? They know it. You don't think that they're unhappy with their life? You think that, I love being a really depressed and unmotivated person just sitting here at my parents' house or whatever in this shitty apartment, whatever it is, just wasting my life. Nobody wants that for themselves, and that's the reason why people are giving them trouble, is because they don't want that for them either. But the thing is you don't cut down those people. You never criticize those people. That's pathetic. You're just pointing the finger right back at yourself. You make yourself look like a complete piece of shit, in my opinion. If you want to try to cut down other people to make yourself look better, only are you looking better in the eyes of an absolute fool or a pitiful person like yourself. And anyway, that's a complete adjacent rant. And I digress, because that is something that is close to heart. Because I just don't like when people are looking down on anybody, for that matter. The same thing as when people are homeless, and instead of feeling some sort of empathy or sympathy or compassion or any of these positive emotions like love, understanding, instead we often look at these people like, oh, to hell with them. Get a job, loser. Oh, it's your fault you're a freaking drug addict. Do you think that that is helpful? Do you think that that is the proper way to treat your fellow man? And here's the joke of it all. We are all one. We all come from one being. We are all one consciousness. And the way you treat others is the way you treat yourself. Often when people don't have respect for others, it's because they have no respect for themselves. So, have some respect for yourself and do right by yourself and start moving in a positive direction, whatever that might mean. And maybe you actually have no idea what that is, because most of us don't. Most of us don't actually even know what's best for ourselves. And that's where this whole point of going out and failing comes into play. Go out and try things. See what's not good for you. See what is maybe good for you. That's how you do it. It doesn't matter. Every great adventure, every great journey begins with a single step. So just take that step. Stop living in fear. Make yourself proud. And say to hell with a life of desperation. Thanks for watching. Take care.